All right, welcome to another episode of I Just Want My Toys. I'm your host, Terry J. Today, we got another shipment from our favorite toy collectible shop, ZLC. That's ZLC Collectibles. Let's take a look and see what's inside. Excuse me. All right, so inside we have an order for 3 figures. We have actually 4 figures. We have inside an order for 2 Mego 8-inch Robin figures, 1 Impractical Jokers James Murray figure, and 1 damaged package Van Helsing figure. Now the Van Helsing, one of the Robins, and the James Murray are all going to be for custom work. And you'll find customs that were done with them over on our sister channel, Customizing 19. So let's see what we have today. We have Hammer Van Helsing. We have the Practical Jokers James Murray. And we do have 2 Robin figures. All right. Ooh, there's some interesting things going on here. Wow. All right. Let's get to it. I mean, yes, the cards are damaged. As you can see, the cards got some nice bends, but I mean, for an opener, that's not going to be bad. And of course, same with the James Murray. Card is slightly damaged, but he's a good figure to use. I like using the James Murray figure as a nice everyman type figure. When I was a kid, one of the Megos that was always used as an everyman figure was the Action Jackson figure. And I would use him for all sorts of characters. He would be a policeman. He could be a paramedic. He could be the president. He could also be the bad guy. So it worked back in those early days when there was only 4 Megos that were superheroes that were released. Superman, Batman, Robin, and Aquaman. And Action Jackson would just take the place of just whatever was needed for playtime story. So whenever I get new Megos, I always check to make sure everything is still good. There's nothing broken inside the package. So, okay. We'll set our James Murray right there off to the side. And of course, Van Helsing. We've already done our review of Van Helsing. So we'll leave him there and I'll check him shortly. But let's get to our main attraction, Robin. All right, right off the bat, both figures I know I'm going to use for customs. This one is very interesting. Look at the screen printing misprint on this figure, where the actual R is down here, closer to the belt, not even on the chest. Wow, some quality control there. I hadn't heard if they're offering any replacements for vests like that, but they really should. That is just wow. Talk about an error and a half. Wow. So he gets to be lucky candidate to open. just because he is such an error. Now, I know there are collectors out there that they collect error figures, and they would be like, oh man, you shouldn't open that because that's an error. It's going to be worth something someday. Nah. Toys are worth the money you spend on them initially, and that's it. I dare anyone to say anything different. Okay. All right. Let's give this a look-see and a once-over, shall we? Okay, right off the bat, the rubber shoes that Mego is now using and come up with. These rubber shoes are more rubbery, like the boots now, and not as sturdy as the original Mego green elf shoes that Robin had before. The body is kind of pale. Yeah, compared in flesh tone to James Murray, it's definitely pale. It's definitely a paler body. All right, let's look at the belt. The belt is really nice. Nicely made. It actually has the proper belt buckle. Then when we were kids, the Robin belt was just a yellow belt with a big square buckle, which I always thought was a disservice to Robin because Robin's belt is more like that. All right, the gloves, if you will, are actually patterned after the Gorn bracers, just cut down to make gloves. Of course, the hands are dyed green. Cost-saving step. Give them short bracers. Give them green hands. And there you go. You have a mimic of a glove. All right, now let's look at the suit, shall we? In the back, Velcro to keep it closed. Head and cape. Cape goes overhead, but comes off easily by itself, which is nice. The yellow collar on the cape that's sewn on is nice. You could almost take this cape and you reuse it for a Dr. Fate or any other character that had a nice yellow cape with collar. Ooh, excuse me. On the vest, let's take a look at the vest, shall we? I'm going to have to take the gloves off again. On the vest, it's a nice error vest, as I like to call it. It's a stretchy material, not nylon like our original Mego Robins from back in the day. So, nice little improvement there. Nope, I'm going to break that arm. I'm going to break that arm. Good. Did not break the arm. Sometimes that happens whenever trying to get these nylon clothes off. It's a nice stretchy material, which is good. I just hate the fact that it's got an R that's upside down. But, I mean, it's nicely made. It's got a stitch down the middle to mimic it being a vest. And then, of course, the screen printing for the little, I call them latches, but they're actually like clasps for his vest. And now on to Robin shorts. And I see what everybody was talking about on the internet. Yes, Robin shorts have been screen printed backwards. The pattern for his shorts, the scoops should be going up like U's. These are going down like semi-half circles. So, some minor quibble. I mean, if you're really anal about it, yes, it is a problem. But, I mean, I'm not that anal about it. I definitely would still say, okay, sure, why not? You can reuse these shorts, of course, for Submariner. That will be a good look for him. And I'm going to keep the gloves, because I think for this Robin, I'm going to turn him into the Earth 2 Robin with the famous red and yellow, which I love so well. So, which means I might get reuse out of the cape. Maybe. I don't know. I like a scallop cape for him, so probably not. But definitely get the rest of the costume together. It is the lighter body, so it's not suntanned. But that's probably because the head has also been cast in the same color. So that's, I had to make sure everything all matched. Otherwise, yes, it would look off with the arms exposed and the legs exposed and the head. Okay, excuse me. It's been a long day. Excuse me. Those hip pins are pulling. I'll have to make sure to watch for that. Most new Megos I have bought, I have ended up having to buy 1 or 2 extra bodies. And sometimes I won't get to make customs. Sometimes I'll have to replace the bodies outright because the hip pins will snap. Very common thing that's starting to happen now, so you'll have to watch that. All right. But yep, that's going to be my Earth 2 Robin. He'll be going in for customs. This Robin I haven't decided yet. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, if he's going to be Nightwing or if he's going to be someone else. I do like that head sculpt. I really do. I really do like this Robin head sculpt. It is really nice, really mature, very much almost like a Garcia Lopez head sculpt. So I'm very seeing some of that in there. Yeah, I'm really digging it. So there is that. And of course, Van Helsing from before, of which this Van Helsing will become Baron, I should say, Baron Frankenstein. So he's earmarked to be a custom of. Not much work to change it up, just enough so it looks different from the two standing together, side by side. Van Helsing on one side, Baron Frankenstein on the other, but I have plans, So yes, that is what we've got going on there. I'll just give him a quick open. And of course, once again, that little bitty stake, which you can turn around and barely miss it if you're not careful. Ah, the fuzz, the fuzz, the fuzz, the fuzz, the fuzz. Oosh. Fuzz on his coat is just coming off. Look at that. Yeesh. Coat will make a nice reuse down the line. Got a couple ideas, and of course this is just a standard Mego white shirt. Navy pants and shoes. But for the Baron, we'll be removing these and replacing it to make it more Baron Frankenstein-like. As always, Megos have a hard time to stand. Some of it has to do with the shoes, some of it has to do with the bodies themselves, but yeah. All in all, though, this new Robin figure, I definitely do like it. I mean, aside from the screen misprints, it is a really nice looking figure. I'll give them kudos for that. They did really well on this figure. No real complaints. Me personally, I just know what I want, and what I want is a Robin that looks more like the Earth 2 Robin, and or possibly Nightwing, which is why I bought them, but not to keep them as Robin, because I'm still sentimental about my original Mego Robin. He has just a certain charm. So, all right, that is our episode for today. With Everyman James Murray, a look at the new 8-inch Mego Robin, and of course another look at Van Helsing, albeit brief because this is going to be used for custom. If you like this episode, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button to get notified of when new episodes drop. Once again, these figures have been provided by ZLC, that's ZLC Collectibles, your one-stop shop for all things Mego, as well as other figures from NECA and from Figures Toy Company. You can check them out there. I just really dig the James Murray as an everyman figure. He is just that. I mean, this guy, he has so many multiple uses. Case in point. There we go. Take time to show off what I did with the James Murray. I have to replace that hand. But I made a Victor Zsasz figure. Oops. Just by reusing a pair of ripped Frankenstein pants. A little wash on the forehead. And repainting of all the cuts on serial killer Victor Zsasz's hands. And I gave him a really wicked cool knife. Wicked cold knife, wicked cold knife. See if I can get him to hold his knife here. Just try the other hand. Yep. See, James Murray has a gazillion and one uses, all kinds of characters you can make. He makes for good henchmen. He makes for just good every regular Joe characters walking down the street. Makes for great supervillains. Yeah, I'm really digging James Murray. So I would definitely recommend, if you have a chance, pick up a few James Murrays and let your imagination fly. You'd be surprised. All right, that's our show for today. As always, I'm your host, Terry J. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook. I Just Want My Toys. Until next time.